The last boy lived in a world made of Legos. Everything was colorful, clickety-clackety. The buildings, the trees, even the animals were all made of those tiny interlocking bricks. It was a world where imagination knew no bounds, where every day was an adventure waiting to unfold. The last boy would spend hours constructing elaborate castles, towering skyscrapers, and intricate mazes. His world was a kaleidoscope of colors, a symphony of clicks and clacks as bricks snapped together to form his wildest dreams. But something was wrong, very wrong. The once vibrant world had started to lose its luster. The colors seemed duller, the clicks and clacks less frequent. Bricks were missing, structures were crumbling, and an eerie silence had settled over the land. The last boy could feel it in his heart, a deep, unsettling emptiness that gnawed at him. The joy and laughter that once filled the air were now replaced with a haunting stillness. It was as if the very soul of his world was fading away. The last boy was, well, the last boy. He missed his friends. He missed playing tag. He missed the sound of their laughter, the thrill of their games, the camaraderie they shared. Each day felt longer and lonelier than the last. He would wander through the empty streets, past the deserted playgrounds, and feel a pang of longing for the days when the world was alive with the energy of his friends. The memories of their adventures haunted him, a constant reminder of what he had lost. He missed building crazy Lego spaceships with other boys. They would spend hours designing the most outrageous spacecraft, complete with laser cannons, rocket boosters, and secret compartments. Each creation was a testament to their boundless creativity and teamwork. The last boy would give anything to relive those moments, to feel the excitement of a new project, to see the spark of inspiration in his friends' eyes. But now, the workbench was empty, the tools untouched, and the joy of creation seemed like a distant dream. The world felt empty, quiet, too many pink bricks. The last boy sighed. The pink bricks were a stark reminder of the imbalance that had taken over his world. They were everywhere, scattered haphazardly, disrupting the harmony of his creations. He would often find himself staring at them, feeling a sense of frustration and helplessness. The once orderly and vibrant world was now a chaotic mess, and he couldn't shake the feeling that it was up to him to set things right. He knew he had to do something. He couldn't just sit back and watch his world fall apart. The last boy was determined to restore the beauty and joy that once defined his home. He spent countless hours brainstorming, sketching out plans and gathering the necessary bricks and tools. His mind was a whirlwind of ideas, each one more ambitious than the last. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was ready to face the challenge head on. He had to believe that he could make a difference. He had to fix this. But how? The task seemed overwhelming and doubt began to creep in. He would often find himself standing in the middle of his crumbling world, feeling lost and unsure of where to start. The enormity of the situation weighed heavily on his shoulders, and he couldn't help but wonder if he was truly capable of turning things around. But deep down, he knew that giving up was not an option. He had to find a way, no matter how difficult it seemed. He clutched his trusty Lego wrench, a gift from his long-gone dad. The wrench was more than just a tool, it was a symbol of hope and resilience. His dad had always believed in the power of creativity and the importance of never giving up. The last boy held on to those values, drawing strength from the memories of his father's wisdom and encouragement. With the wrench in hand, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He was ready to tackle the challenges ahead, one brick at a time. "Don't worry," he whispered, "I'll figure it out." The words were a promise to himself and to the world he loved. He knew that the road ahead would be long and arduous, but he was determined to see it through. With each step, he felt a growing sense of confidence and resolve. The last boy was ready to rebuild his world, to bring back the color, the joy, and the laughter. He would not rest until his home was once again a place of wonder and magic, a testament to the power of imagination and the indomitable spirit of a boy who refused to give up. It happened one day while playing pirates. The boys were having the time of their lives, imagining themselves as brave buccaneers sailing the high seas. They laughed and shouted, their Lego pirate ship rocking back and forth as they pretended to battle sea monsters and search for hidden treasure. The air was filled with excitement and adventure. Suddenly, a giant glitching vortex appeared in the sky. It was unlike anything they had ever seen before. The vortex swirled and twisted, its colors shifting and changing in a mesmerizing pattern. The boys stopped their play and stared up at the sky, their eyes wide with wonder and a hint of fear. What could it be? Where did it come from? The vortex made a funny sound. It was a mix of electronic beeps and whirs, almost like a broken video game. The sound grew louder and louder, filling the air with an eerie, otherworldly noise. The boys covered their ears, trying to block out the strange sounds, but it was no use. The noise seemed to penetrate everything, vibrating through their very bones. Like bzzz, whir, pop! The sounds were almost comical, yet there was something deeply unsettling about them. The boys exchanged nervous glances, unsure of what to do. Should they run? Should they hide? But before they could make a decision, the vortex began to pull them in. One by one, the boys got sucked in. They tried to hold on to each other, to the pirate ship, to anything they could grab, but the force of the vortex was too strong. They were lifted off their feet and pulled into the swirling mass of colors and sounds. Their cries for help were lost in the cacophony of the vortex. They disappeared. Poof! In an instant, they were gone. The vortex had swallowed them whole, leaving nothing behind but a few scattered Lego bricks. The once lively and bustling pirate scene was now eerily quiet. The girls who had been playing nearby watched in shock as their friends vanished before their eyes. Gone. Then, silence. Except for the girls. They stood frozen, unable to comprehend what had just happened. The laughter and joy of moments before were replaced by a heavy, oppressive silence. The girls looked around, hoping to see their friends reappear, but the vortex had closed, and the boys were nowhere to be found. They were confused, scared. What had taken their friends? Would it come back? The girls huddled together, seeking comfort in each other's presence. They whispered to each other, trying to make sense of the bizarre and terrifying event. Their imaginations ran wild with possibilities, each one more frightening than the last. The last boy was scared too. He had managed to avoid being sucked into the vortex, but now he was alone. He looked around, his heart pounding in his chest. Where had everyone gone? He felt a pang of guilt for not being able to save his friends, but he knew he had to stay hidden if he wanted to survive. He hid behind a giant Lego pirate ship. It was the only place he felt safe. He crouched down, trying to make himself as small as possible. He listened for any signs of the vortex returning, but all he could hear was the sound of his own breathing, and the occasional creak of the pirate ship. He watched the vortex vanish. He was alone, the only boy left. The silence was deafening, and the emptiness around him was overwhelming. He knew he had to find a way to bring his friends back, but he didn't know where to start. For now, all he could do was wait and hope that the vortex would not return. The last boy found a clue. An old instruction booklet. It was dusty and worn, with pages that seemed to whisper secrets of a time long past. As he carefully turned the pages, his eyes widened with excitement. This was no ordinary booklet. It was a map, a guide to something extraordinary. The boy's heart raced as he realized the significance of his discovery. This booklet held the key to a legendary place, a place spoken of in hushed tones and bedtime stories. It was the Codemaster's Lair, a mythical location where the greatest builder of all time resided. The booklet spoke of a legendary place, the Codemaster's Lair, a fortress of creativity and innovation hidden away from the world. It was said that the Codemaster could fix anything from broken bricks to shattered dreams. The boy knew that if he could find this lair, he could bring back his friends and restore the world to its former glory. The journey would be long and perilous, but the boy was determined. He packed his bag with essentials, a compass, some food, and of course, his trusty Lego bricks. The Codemaster could fix anything, even bring back the boys. The boy imagined the Codemaster as a wise and powerful figure, someone who had the knowledge and skills to solve any problem. He pictured the lair filled with incredible creations, each one more amazing than the last. The boy felt a surge of hope. If he could just reach the lair, everything would be all right. He set off on his journey, his heart filled with determination and his mind focused on the task ahead. The journey was long and dangerous. The boy traveled through dense Lego jungles where the trees were made of interlocking bricks, and the ground was a mosaic of colorful pieces. He had to be careful with every step, as one wrong move could send him tumbling into a pit of loose bricks. But he pressed on, driven by the thought of his friends and the promise of the Codemaster's help. The last boy traveled through Lego jungles. The air was thick with the scent of plastic, and the sounds of clicking bricks echoed around him. He encountered all sorts of creatures, from brick-built birds to towering Lego beasts. Each challenge tested his resolve, but he never wavered. He knew that every step brought him closer to his goal. He climbed mountains of bricks. These towering structures were made of countless pieces, each one carefully placed to create a formidable obstacle. The boy's hands ached from the effort, but he kept climbing, his eyes fixed on the peak. He knew that beyond these mountains lay the path to the Codemaster's lair. He even sailed across a sea of Lego studs. The boy built a sturdy boat from the pieces he carried with him, and set sail on the vast, shimmering expanse. The journey across the sea was treacherous, with waves of studs threatening to capsize his vessel. But the boy's skill and determination saw him through, and he reached the other side, ready to continue his quest. He never gave up hope. No matter how tough the journey became, the boy's spirit remained unbroken. He thought of his friends, of the laughter and joy they shared, and it gave him the strength to keep going. He knew that the Codemaster was his only hope, and he was determined to find him. He had to find the Codemaster. The boy searched high and low, exploring every nook and cranny of the Lego world. He followed the clues in the instruction booklet, piecing together the puzzle that would lead him to the lair. Each discovery brought him one step closer, and his excitement grew with every passing day. He had to bring back his friends. The boy's friends were more than just companions, they were his family. He couldn't bear the thought of a world without them. He carried their memories with him, looking at photos and recalling the adventures they had shared. This gave him the motivation to push through the toughest challenges. He had to fix the world. The boy knew that the Lego world was broken and only the Codemaster could help him put it back together. He imagined a world where everything was perfect, where every brick was in its place and every creation was a masterpiece. This vision drove him forward, and he vowed to see it become a reality. Along the way, the last boy met others: a brave Lego policewoman with a jetpack, a wise old Lego wizard with a sparkly beard, and a super strong Lego construction worker with a jackhammer arm. They heard his story. They wanted to help. They knew how lonely he felt. They knew the world needed boys. They joined his quest. The journey wasn't easy. The glitching vortex reappeared. It tried to trap them. They built a Lego spaceship to fly through it. But the vortex was strong. The spaceship crashed. The last boy was separated from his friends. He was alone again. He felt like giving up. Section 6. A Spark of Hope. The Codemaster's Secret. The last boy found a cave. Deep inside, he found it. The Codemaster's lair. It was full of computers and wires and a giant keyboard made of Legos. A message flashed on the screen. The boys are trapped in the digital world. To bring them back, you need the power cord of friendship. Section 7. Rebooting the world, bringing the boys back. The last boy knew what to do. He gathered his friends. They combined their unique Lego pieces. The policewoman's jetpack, the wizard's staff, the construction worker's jackhammer. They built the power cord of friendship. They plugged it into the computer. The cave rumbled. The vortex reappeared. But this time, it was different. It glowed with warmth and friendship. Section 8. A world reunited, the power of friendship, bricks, and hope. One by one, the boys returned. They cheered, they hugged, they thanked the last boy for saving them. The world felt whole again. The Lego world was filled with laughter and the joyful sounds of building. The last boy learned something important. Friendship can fix anything, even a world made of Legos. Section 9. The last boy no more, a new beginning. The last boy wasn't lonely anymore. He had his friends back. He helped save the world. He was a hero. And he knew, no matter what challenges came their way, they would face them together. Brick by brick, adventure by adventure in their amazing world made of Legos.